Wayne Erbsen. It's good to have you here tonight.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So, why don't you first tell me a little bit about your early days in music in Southern California?
Okay, well, so I grew up in West Los Angeles. My father played a little guitar, and we lived in Mexico. So every time we went down there, about once or twice a year, we brought back another guitar.
Oh,
and
really?
My sister's Bonnie is 3 years older. She started playing the guitar, so I naturally went to the guitar, and then she went to the banjo, and then I went to the banjo.
Okay.
And then in 1963 or 4, well, let's see, in 1963, I entered the Topanga Canyon Banjo Contest.
Okay.
After playing only 2 weeks, and I took a few lessons from Claude Reeves.
Okay.
And so for a prize for third place in the beginners, they gave me Peggy Seeger's banjo book.
Okay.
It was actually easier to understand than Pete's. And then 2 years later, I came back and entered the intermediate, and I won first place in the advanced.
Cool.
I played a version of Weeping Willow that I learned from Eddie Adcock, but I added a couple of parts of my own.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was at a party in Topanga Canyon after I won.
Yeah.
And I had my banjo on my lap, and Doug Dillard was in the other room, so I played banjo on the holler.
Oh, cool.
He looked over and smiled at me.
Yeah. He had a nice smile, didn't he?
Yeah.
Were you around a lot of the people that we know from the Southern California bluegrass scene? Well, like the White Brothers or... Chris Hillman or Herb Peterson or the Dillards. Obviously, you've been around. So, and where would you have run into these fellas?
Well, a lot of it was either at McCabe's in Santa Monica or mostly at the Ash Grove. And we went there every weekend practically. And I saw all of the greats. I saw Booker White, Reverend Gary Davis, Flatt and Scruggs. The Dillards. I saw the Dillards I went there on grad night to see the Dillards. Yeah. And I saw...
And called it Dooley, and we're going to do you a spasm of it right now. Here we go. Now Dooley was a good old man, he lived below the mill. Dooley had 2 daughters and a 40-gallon still. One gal watched the boiler, the other watched the spout, and Mama corked the bottles when old Dooley fetched them out. Dooley slipping up the holler, Dooley trying to make a dollar. Dooley, give me a swaller and I'll pay you back someday. Revenuers came for him, slipping through the woods, but Dooley kept behind them all and never lost his goods. Now Dooley was a trader when into town he'd come, sugar by the bushel and molasses by the drum. Dooley slipping up the holler, Dooley trying to make a dollar. Dooley, give me a swaller and I'll pay you back someday. The day old Dooley died, the women folk looked sorry and the men stood around and cried. Now Dooley's on the mountain, he lies there all alone. They put a jug beside him and a barrel for a stone. Dooley slipping up the holler, Dooley trying to make a dollar. Dooley, give me a swaller and I'll pay you back someday. And I'll pay you back someday.
City Ramblers and Maybelle Carter.
Did you see the Terriers by any chance?
I did.
You know, I believe with Marshall Brickman and Eric Weisberg in that band, because they met at the Ash Grove, and they heard Clarence play, and that was in 1963, and he ended up playing the lead guitar on that album. New dimensions in banjo and bluegrass, and I think that contact was made during the Terriers performance.
Well, I got to see. So the house band, of course, was the Country Boys or the Kentucky Colonels.
Yeah.
And we used to see the Stonemans there.
Uh-huh.
And I was particularly influenced by Scotty.
Oh, yeah.
On the fiddle, when I took up the fiddle, which was later.
Yeah.
But
well, he was a force.
Yeah, when I was sitting in the back row with Ry Cooter right next to me, a friend. We had gone surfing together.
Oh, really?
And he elbowed me and he said he was comparing Donna Stoneman with Roland White, saying that Roland played whatever he wanted on the fingerboard, wherever it was. Donna just played out of positions.
Yeah.
But I pointed out that Roland wasn't dancing and singing while he was playing. And
no, definitely not.
He wasn't wearing white go-go boots either.
Right. But Roland had a lot of soul. It's soul in him, you know.
Oh yeah, he was great.
Yeah.
I saw the band while he was gone in the army.
Yeah, he was in Germany there for a while.
And then when he came back, boy, he whooped those guys into shape like nothing. You know, he really did. They were spitting polish.
Yeah. So you saw them with the various fill-in musicians. I know Mike Seeger played mandolin with the Colonels. Or maybe. Yeah. And what's it? It's Hambly. Scott Hambly.
Yeah, I saw him once or twice.
Yeah, I have that on audio, so you know.
So I used to know Maine Smith pretty well.
Okay. Now, do you remember any of the other clubs around L.A. like Cal's Corral?
Thank you very much. Welcome to the Bluegrass portion of Cal's Corral. Well, the Golden State Boys will be around 30 minutes entertaining you bluegrass style. And we'll get things right underway here with a song today for Mr. and Mrs. Cal Worthington. This is
Cal's Corral, that show. Or
no, but we used to go to the Hoots at the Troubadour.
Okay, yeah.
And I might have gone to the Ice House one time. I'm not sure.
Okay. There were the Cobblestone.
No, I don't know that.
You know about the Cobblestone. I have in the recording with Scotty Stoneman from the Cobblestone with the Colonels from '65.
Cool, I'd like to hear that.
Yeah, I'll tell you. I will send you. I think I've located all the available shows that the Colonels did with Scotty Stoneman in 1965. You know, I can send you the whole playlist. It's some fearsome music, man. It's so intense.
I know. So many years later, after I'd moved to the South, I played in a pickup band at a fiddlers convention in Elk Creek, Virginia. And we played a tune, and I had not rehearsed the fiddle break. I just played whatever I could find. And when we got off the stage, a woman came running up. She'd all out of breath. She had heard us across the field, and it was Ronnie Stoneman.
Oh, really? Really?
She said she looked like she had seen a ghost. She said, I heard my brother Scotty's fiddling in your fiddling.
Yeah. You know, she was a character.
Yeah.
I played a gig with her in Raleigh, and she loves to make fun of people, and she made some insane story about me. I was, I guess, the only one wearing a jacket, so she called me the preacher man the whole evening. So, so anyway, please continue with Ronnie or Donna.
I remember she said, let's see, she said one of her brothers one time swallowed a nickel, and they followed him around for a week with a stick.
You know, I think he's the most expressive of all fiddlers.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if you listen to the Red Allen recording of "Close By,"
Yeah.
that
Right.
that's the essence.
Right. I'm with you.
Yeah.
You've gone so far away, my darling. Each time I think of you, I cry. I press your picture to my book, so I know we'll feel close by. I saw you last while you were leaving, and the tears I tried to hide, I tucked you in my arms and said, your memory I'll keep close by. Years have passed, you're not returned it, and now they say that you have died, but your soul will live forever, so I know we'll feel close by. They buried her in a lonely graveyard, and I spot they left beside. I will sleep till Jesus calls us, so I know we'll feel close by.
I like the way he did Cherokee Waltz.
Oh my God, yes. You know, there's an interesting comparison. Byron Berland recorded it in 1973 with Herb Peterson and Roger Bush, I believe, and then the Roland and Clarence White. And it's a one, you know, Byron was one of the best. But the stylistic difference you can hear in the two, if you play them back to back, I can send you the link if you're interested. But if you compare that version that Byron does, it's really pretty and.
I got to play with Byron 2 or 3 times over the years.
So when did he show up in California?
When did he?
Yeah, Byron Berline. You know, he's from.
I remember seeing him in the Caves one time.
Okay.
I don't remember. So it was in the 60s.
Yeah. Now
I saw him play with Bill Monroe too.
Oh, cool. Do you of course you remember Clyde Franklin at the Bluegrass Center.
Yeah.
So Clyde told me, and I have it in it, like I recorded a bunch of interviews with Clyde before he passed away, but he had run into, he's from Boston or that general area, and he and one of his buddies went to Nashville and ran into some guys. It turned out to be the White brothers. And I don't really know what year this would have been. I'm going to try to find out. But they said, if you ever come to L.A., come see us. So Clyde went out there, and Clarence was talking about this D45, and I think it was at McCabe's. But he was talking about that one mentioning to Clyde. You know, he was kind of enthusiastic, but he didn't have the money. And instead, Clyde ended up buying that guitar, and you probably remember seeing it at the Bluegrass Center, that D45, 1940, I think, 39 or 40 D45. So they could have been, if Clarence had had more money, it would have been a legendary guitar.
Yeah.
Well, so let me see now. In 1963, during the UCLA Folk Festival, there was it was an influx of musicians from the East Coast, and you know, the New Lost City Ramblers, for example, were there, and Mike Seeger, and countless bands. Monroe, you know, he was there with his crew. And I have a set of discs where about 3-4 discs that it just said Dillard Jam. I had no idea what it was. I got these from Jim Mills years ago. So I popped it in, and I started listening, and I could pretty soon identify like voices of instruments, like Clarence's guitar, and then I can hear Kenny Baker's fiddle, and it was like a very interesting research project. You know, I could identify. Turns out that the Dillards were hosting a multi-day party, or you know, whatever you want to call it, a big music get-together, and the audio from there is really interesting. If you're interested, I'll be happy to send you.
Sure. So I was backstage at the UCLA Folk Festival, and there was a jam where Dean
Webb
was jamming on Bill's mandolin.
Oh no, really? Wow.
And Rodney was playing guitar. Bill Keith was there, and Monroe was playing guitar.
Oh, really?
And I didn't know that Bill played guitar.
Yeah.
And I could see Dean relishing playing Bill's mandolin, you know.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And Bill Keith was playing some incredible stuff.
Yeah. Did you know Bill pretty good?
Not real good, but I'll tell you this little story. So I was playing with the Black Mountain Bluegrass Boys from West Virginia, and we were up at a festival in Ottawa, Ohio. It was really, really hot. And being a California hippie, I had on this was in the parking lot, I had no shirt on, and I had on jeans for shorts. Bill Monroe and the Black Mountain Bluegrass Boys were a force. They were great. And so Bill came out of they sang really loud. Bill came out of his bus to listen to us, and he offered us a spot on the Grand Ole Opry in a couple of weeks.
Cool.
And I said, would you like to hear a song I wrote? He said, sure. So I had written this pretty good waltz called The Old Virginia Moon. And I was trying to outsmart him, so I said, here's one called The Old Kentucky Moon. And I played it, and he said he'd love it, but he can't record it because he already has a Kentucky song. So I shot myself in the foot.
Yeah, Monroe used to say, I just love to sing about Kentucky. I don't know how many songs he has about Kentucky. So, let's see. If we go back to the early days, what did you...
Well, I was playing with 3 friends that were not a band. It was Team Eliza Jones, Jackson Cunningham, and another woman I can't remember. And we played some tune that a song that I knew, but I didn't have a break or anything selected. So I just jumped in there and with everything I had, and no thought about it really. And then Ronnie came running up and said, I heard my brother in your fiddling. So I'm not good at copying anybody. I did manage to copy the Fire that Scotty had.
Yeah, that's same as I guess Fire is the same thing as Essence. You can they're really important stuff. And that's I tried to copy him a lot, but it's not easy.
Yeah.
So that must have been in '65.
Maybe so.
Yeah. His first documented live recording with the Cardinals is from February of '65, and the last one is in October. And there might still be unknown tapes in some archives, We can always hope.
Yeah.
Did you know Hal Poindexter and the Golden State Bluegrass Band?
Is he a dobro player?
Oh, okay, that's Frank. That's his brother, Tony Rice's uncle. I sent you some links from the UCLA folk festivals in 1963 and '64. Did you have a chance? I know it was with short notice, of course.
That's okay. I saw the one video, and I had seen it before.
Yeah, okay. So, did you attend any of the workshops?
I attended one with Doc Watson and Joe Maphis and Clarence.
Yep, I have. Yep.
I remember they asked Joe what kind of pick he used, thinking that the pick was the secret sauce. And he looked at it like he'd never looked at it before, and he said, hell, I don't know. He said, I just play whatever pick Rosalie hands me when we come up on stage.
Yeah, that's old school, I tell you. No,
Right.
no, but Monroe was probably the same way. I mean, I've heard comments about him, like, what kind of pick is that? Like a mandolin pick, or something like
And
that.
I remember they said, where did Clarence get his style? And he pointed to Doc and Joe right there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's wonderful because it's so true.
Yeah.
So, plus, Clarence had his own internal sense of rhythm and timing and syncopation and stuff that just influenced me in everything I have ever played or written. I have that sense of timing, or the syncopations and stuff.
Well, some people asked me, he said, if you listen to Clarence that much, how come you don't sound like him?
What an idiot! What a profoundly stupid question. I mean, I'm sorry. That's that's terrible. Yeah. I guess that we should just not be too cruel and name that individual just for...
I don't remember who it was, or I would.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. So, there is also some video from, not video, but music and pictures from when the Kentucky Colonels in '64, they played again, and then Tony Rice's first band, the Haphazards, played at that festival as well. And that's interesting because of Hal Poindexter. He knew the White family quite well. Plus, he was Tony's or Herb's brother-in-law, so there was early contacts, and Tony talked a good bit about Clarence whenever we used to talk. So, but as far as the other Southern California guys like Herb Peterson, was he around the same era or area?
Oh yeah, I used to see him a lot.
Yeah.
He used to play with Butch Waller.
Oh yeah. He's a fine player.
Yeah, I knew him.
Let's see, I'm thinking the guy that played in the Birds early on. Chris Hillman.
I don't believe I ever saw him, but I heard him in the Scottsdale Squirrel Barkers.
Yeah. And Kenny Wirtz.
I don't remember seeing him.
Yeah, I don't know much about him, but he played with the Country Gazette on their first two albums, I know.
Oh yeah. And I knew Alan Mundy pretty well.
Yeah. He's a fine gentleman. I really like him.
Me too.
So I did an interview with Alan about, many different things, but also playing with Clarence, talked about flying over to, well, I guess it must have been after their Holland performance. They, like in Sweden, they recorded 2 evenings, and it was released. You know, the New Kentucky Colonel is live in Sweden. Have you heard that album?
Maybe, probably.
Yeah. First, it was out on Rounder, and it came out around 1976, and you know it was out of print forever, and then Roland White produced this live in Sweden that had a lot more. I mean, the same material plus almost twice as much. So it's some good stuff. You should listen to some of that.
Yep.
Okay. Wayne, it's such an interesting experience to talk to you. I hope we can continue. I haven't even touched the surface of what I want to talk, but I don't want to wear you out.
Okay, well, we could do this another time, anytime you want.
Yeah, let's just do that. And this has really been cool. Wayne, my friend, you take care, and we'll see you soon, I hope.
Okay, thanks
Thank
for
you.
talking.